There we go. Jeff, you can smile now. We're live.
We're live.
Hello. Wow, this is the moment we've been waiting probably 18 months for, Jeff, or rather we're an hour away from that moment. Welcome.
Finally.
Welcome to Digital DJ Tips, our very, very special Thursday Q&A live with DJ Jazzy Jeff, people, the one and only, the GOAT. He's here. And the reason Jeff's here is because in literally 50... In fact, let's get a counter on the screen. Let's do this properly.
We're going to do the countdown.
There we go, top right. 57 minutes and 55 seconds. We will be pressing go. And in fact, we're going to launch Jeff's How to DJ Right course with a musical instrument. What else? Jeff, what have
That's
you got?
right.
What have we got to choose from? What instruments have you got there?
So we have a traditional tambourine.
Traditional,
But
like it.
that might be if we were launching the gospel course. We have a traditional shaker
Nice.
because I love Brazilian music so much. But I'm almost thinking that we probably should launch this because everybody needs more cowbell. Now, I'm not going to hit it until we launch, but you see it.
Okay, so people, it looks like out of the three instruments Jeff has there, tambourine, shaker and cowbell, we're going to go with the cowbell at the top of the hour. If you feel strongly in any other direction, you better let us know in the comments. Now, we're live on Twitch, we're live on YouTube and we're live on Facebook. So wherever you are, your comments are coming straight through to us. We can see them all. Hello to Gail over there in California. Hello to Kenneth. Hello to You Don't Like My Music, who says, oh, we're going to have a disco jam. More cowbell. Nigel's a cowbell person for sure. It looks like cowbell's already winning here, Jeff. Cowbell seems to be the one. So that's what we'll do. In 5620, we're going to be pressing that button and we're going to be putting DJ Jazzy Jeff's How to DJ Right course live. And I said 18 months. That's about right, isn't it, Jeff? That's about when we started.
It's been a while. It's been
been hard.
COVID kind of derailed a lot of stuff for a while, but I'm happy that we were able to get it done.
You were quite ill at one point from COVID, weren't you? You had a battle to get yourself back to fully fit.
Yeah,
we had far fewer problems than that, logistically, but we did have problems logistically. We had to get to you, and it kept getting called off, and without getting political, it actually caused us an issue when Mr. Biden arrived in the White House because he got tough on COVID immigrants, on us lot coming to see you. So we had a bit longer to wait. And eventually we got together. Eventually we got a wonderful time in that studio you're sat in now, filming this course. So thank you from us at Digital DJ Tips, from Steve and myself. We'd like to thank you because we had, since we've come home, it's just dawned on us how wonderful that week was, how much fun it was. And for those people that didn't follow the story at the time, Jeff literally put us up in his house. We were staying with Jeff, we were staying with his family and his lovely dogs. And it was like a once in a lifetime experience. So thank you for that. It was great fun to film the course.
It really was. We got a chance to eat some really good food and listen to a whole bunch of music. And Steve discovered some stuff in the studio that I had lost for a while, so it was an amazing time.
People that will follow Digital DJ Tips and follow some of our training will know that our tutor Steve Canueto and the co-owner of the company basically taught himself to DJ by listening to cassette tapes of You back in 1985, 1986. So for Steve, it was a dream come true to come and make this course, especially. It's just one of those things. And you know what, Jeff, we've told you this before, but when we do our annual census, we do a census every year of our audience. Your name is always, and has been ever since we started it, at the top of the list when we say who is your favorite DJ. So to do that for our audience, to make this course, has just been wonderful. So thank you for doing it. Thanks for being here. We've got there in 53 minutes time, people. Jeff, you're going to have to point. Now this is hard.
Okay, wait a minute. So it would be
it's mirror image stuff.
So
left ear, mate.
Hold on. Wait a minute. I'm getting.
Well, you're
Okay.
left-right challenged, aren't you? You got a left-right thing anyway, so
Listen,
this
I
is
told
doubly
you.
hard. Yeah.
If anybody is driving in the car with me and giving me directions, and when you say get to the corner and make a left, we got a 50-50 shot. So I suggest that you point. So when
I
you
suggest.
said left ear, I'm kind of like that ear.
Yeah, that's
So
the one. Ah, you got it. You got it. That is how long. That is how long we've got, people, until the DJ Jazzy Jeff course launches on Digital DJ
53
Tips.
minutes on the dot.
There we go. So, this is something we've never done. Jeff, I need to share this with you. This is something we've never done before. We have replaced our icon at the top of our website with your face. What do you think of that?
Man.
Look
I
at
need to call
that.
my mom and tell her I made it. Like, hey, mom, I am on the front page of Digital DJ Tips.
Hey, you know what?
It's amazing.
You're not only on the front page of Digital DJ Tips. I've actually been stopped in the street. Jeff, I've got to tell you this. I've been stopped in the street today. I only live 200 yards from the office, from the studio I'm in now. I only live 200 yards from the studio. I've been stopped in the street twice today because, thanks to you, I am on the front page of the Gibraltar Chronicle today, which is the newspaper of the country that we are in at the moment, where Digital DJ Tips is based. Look at this. DJ Jazzy Jeff joins locally based musicians online course project. And there you are in that very studio filming this course.
And
check this out.
And Steve.
And there's Dan and Steve. And there
I'm
we
on
are
the front
in
page of the
Look at this.
Gibraltar Chronicle. Wow.
We are
I'm next to the crossword puzzle.
We are officially the biggest news story on a day when the British Prime Minister is being called to resign, and the Ukraine and the West and Russia are having a unholy threesome out there on the edges of the ex-Soviet Union. We are the front page news.
And what is the number one story?
It's us. So it is a special day, and we woke up this morning knowing today was going to be a good day when we saw that the newspaper had our picture right there on the front of it. So it's exciting. The course is something that is going to help a lot of people. I mean, people are going to say, "Oh, it's Jeff. Is he just going to teach scratching? Is he just going to teach hip hop?" But Jeff, it's so much more than that, isn't it?
Yes. Being a DJ. You can put that to any style of music you want. It doesn't have to be hip hop. It doesn't have to be house, funk and soul. Whatever you enjoy playing, this course is going to show you how to put your favorite music together and hopefully do a seamless mix of your favorite songs. And that's the most important thing. You're trying to keep people on the dance floor. You're trying not to break people's body clock and throw them off and have a good time, whether it's in a festival or it's in your backyard.
And the course is very much about being a DJ, not about being someone who does flash transitions at every opportunity, right? So even though you say transitions are everything, which is part of your ethos, they're not everything unless you've got the right music and you know the people in front of you, you know how long you're playing for, and you know all the things which people never see when they watch someone DJing, right? And that is what is at the heart of this course. So what's exciting you the most about finally getting this out there, Jeff?
I think just, when I look at a lot of the other courses, a lot of courses teach you the bells and the whistles, but not necessarily the fundamentals. And the fundamentals is what we all fall back on when the bells and whistles don't work or the bells and whistles aren't appropriate. And I really wanted to kind of lock in on the fundamentals because that is really the backbone of being a great DJ. Is knowing how to mix, knowing how to choose your records, knowing when to play your records, paying attention to your audience. There's so many of the key things. I think people look at DJs and think you're just picking up a record and putting it on, but the right record at the wrong time is the wrong record. So it's kind of a lesson in giving you the basics. And now there's some bells and whistles in there also, but we wanted to start with the fundamentals of, teaching people, to trust their body clock and understand it's those are the things that, when people wonder what is behind the engine, those are the things that keep you going.
And it's been made in such a way that we take any DJ through the whole process, right? So we start off by talking about the very basics, and we move through music, and you talk about where to get music and how to arrange your music and how to prepare it, and you get stuff in this course that no one's going to know unless you tell them, and you tell them for the first time, and only at that point do we move on to starting to talk about what you do behind the decks. And at that point, I guess we've got to be honest, it does get exciting because you don't hold back. By the end of it, we're literally dissecting your most iconic and most famous routines. So people do get everything, but it's done in such a way that you can pick and choose and you can work through at your own pace. It's almost a course for life, for the lifetime of your DJing hobby or your DJing career, because there's always going to be something in there you can come back to and learn something new from.
And it isn't based solely on someone who's trying to learn how to DJ. There are tips and tricks in it for veteran DJs that may want to understand, the reason why I love using effects, the reason why I do certain transitions, the reason why I pick certain records at certain times. We didn't hold back anything.
It's something we've been looking at very, very hard here for the last few days, because we've been finally checking the whole thing. We've been checking that all the videos are in the right place, and we've been checking that there's no spelling mistakes, because we know that your wife is very, very meticulous when it comes to the spellings. So we didn't want to get any of those wrong. And so what you're saying is, is very close to us as well. And we've been very excited just seeing it kind of come together, and all the things you're mentioning here. There's really three types of people it's for. There's kind of the experienced DJs, like you say, who want to pick up some of your magic. There's beginners, because, hey, if you're a fan of this man here, why would you want to learn from anyone else? And also, there is an awful lot in there for your fans, because they get to see you in a way that they've never seen you before, and they get to understand how you do what you do, even if they don't want to do it. Even if they've got no intention of ever learning to do it, they get to see it, and you explain it so that they understand it. So... Go on.
No, I think one of the most exciting parts about doing this course is you guys asked me questions about things that I did that I never answered. I've never answered before because it was just so natural. And you asked me why. And I thought that was amazing, because that was the first time that out of my mouth, I explained why I did certain things. And it made me think about it, like, okay, why do you always do this? And you come up with the answer, and you understand that it's a very clear-cut definition of most of the stuff that I do. It's a method and a madness behind it.
It's a way of teaching that, we know that everyone can't be in the room with you, and so we like to try and ask the questions and think the things that a beginner would think, and it's something that's very important to us to get into that frame of mind where we know the beginner questions and also the questions someone who's more experienced might ask you, and try and kind of ask them on your behalf. So people who buy the course will see a lot of it is you and me, or you and my colleague Steve in the camera, and we are playing the part of the student, and you're playing the part of the tutor. And it works really well, and we can't oversay how excited we are about launching it in 40. Go on, Jeff, fingers over your head, please. In 44 minutes and 30. It's not as easy as it looks, is it? 30 seconds time. So what we thought we would do, apart from let a few people kind of say hello. Kenneth says, my fave part will be hearing the philosophy behind your approach. In the course. Dontel, I had the honour of being in Jazzy Jeff's online session for the Fresh Prince anniversary. I learned a lot in that session, so I'm looking forward to this course. And Brian says, ladies and gentlemen, I proudly present the man, the myth, the legend, Phil Morse from Digital DJ Tips, and some guy named Jeff. So there we go.
That's right. Phil is on the front page of the newspaper.
So, and those of you that have just joined us, we are here with Jazzy Jeff, the DJ Jazzy Jeff, to count down to the launch of his How to DJ Right course, which is launching when that counter in the top right hand corner hits 0. We will put the page live, we will give you the URL, and you'll be able to click through and you will be able to get your hands on DJ Jazzy Jeff's How to DJ Right, the first DJ course this man has ever made. I mean, how long have you wanted to make a course for? When did you first think, do you know what, I might want to teach this at some point? When did that first occur to you, Jeff?
I think just with a lot of DJ friends of mine that would ask me questions and I would give them some ideas and techniques and things like that. I kind of thought to have established DJs ask me why I did certain things or how I did certain things. I kind of thought like maybe, people would really like to know what's under the hood. But it's, like I said, I got to give a super duper shout out to Digital DJ Tips, because I would not have done this if I didn't do it with the right people. And you guys were absolutely the right people. Just from the courses that you've done before, I felt like I was going to be in great hands. The level of detail of this course is something that I didn't imagine. Because it's not just telling someone how to do a transition. It's laid out in chronological order. There's a DJ, a set. There is an inspirational mix in the set that we go through and we dissect everything that I did in that. And I thought that was just genius, because you're basically teaching from a real life lesson. You're teaching from a real life mix. And I think those are the best ways, to learn. Sometimes, giving someone a graph and a chart doesn't resonate, but giving someone an example is amazing.
It's a good way of teaching, isn't it? And it was good for us because we, as I'm about to share, we kind of like, we made it quite hard for you, Jeff, to be honest, because Steve here at Digital DJ Tips is he knows everything you've done over the years, and he said, Jeff, we need a mix from you, but it's got to have this in it, this in it, this in it, this in it, and this in it. And you were like, man, this is hard. I'm struggling.
Yeah.
You need to give me another week. You need to give me another week. And it was like no mix you'd ever been asked to do before. It's almost like a greatest hits of DJ Jazzy Jeff mix. Yeah. But of course, once we had that, and especially once Steve had that, because of his intimate knowledge of your style and your music, we had everything we needed to then pull apart the way you DJ, and then to then throw it back at you and ask all the right questions. So, like you say, it's something that's unique. It's no one's ever gone into this detail before about how the one and only DJ Jazzy Jeff works, and it's been a pleasure to make it. Listen, you haven't seen this before, and no one else in the world, apart from the people here in the Digital DJ Tips team, have seen this before. Shall we have a little look inside the course? Shall we have a little peek inside it?
I'm excited.
So this has literally just been finished today. This is what the course looks like, people. So we have modules. You can see the modules scrolling past here, music and transitions and the added spice and musicality, big thing for Jeff, of course. Then we move into the really advanced stuff like using double copies of records. And then we get into this area where we're pulling apart your biggest routines of all time, and you're literally talking us through it. And each of these little boxes here is an actual lesson. So as we drill into this, there's a lesson with you. There's all the information you need. There's the track listings, and then underneath is a chance to really pull it apart with the original demos and slow motion versions of things, so that people can follow along at a speed where they can actually do it themselves as they're getting good at it. And then even better, underneath that, people get the chance to ask for help, and then the tutors are here to answer questions and make sure that they're not just feeling like they've been, dumped into a video course and there's no one there to help them. There's tutors here 24/7 to help people out. So there's a little sneak peek inside what this looks like, people.
That's amazing. That is amazing. I think I may have to take this course.
Do you know what? I've had people say that before. I watched that. I thought, I want to buy this, and then I realised, I helped you make it, so I know what's in it. So that's brilliant. Should we have a little chat to the audience? There's a lot of people who are wanting to say hello. So Gail says, my 16-year-old daughter and I have been learning to DJ on our own during the pandemic. And we started following a few DJs to get a better understanding of the art. When we saw DJ Jazzy Jeff was offering this course, we were so excited that we could learn from the absolute best. So thank you for this. So have you got a message for Gail there and her 16-year-old daughter, Jeff?
Gail, you don't understand how excited this makes me, because this course is designed to get people into the art of DJing. This has been the greatest thing in my life, aside from my kids. This has been the greatest thing in my life, being able to play music the way that you want and making people happy. I encourage anybody who has interest in DJing, playing music, making people happy, whether it's for 1,000 people or for just 4 people, to do it. And I am excited. Thank you. Thank you very much, Gail. I appreciate that.
Jeff, we have got something very, very exciting that we are going to talk about in just a short while. Because as part of the build-up for this course, you very kindly offered to teach 2 DJs one-on-one, to give them a free hour-long lesson with just them and with DJ Jazzy Jeff. And it's something money can't buy. Of course, money can't buy. I mean, this course is incredible and this course is amazing. It's going to help. It would be wonderful if you could teach every one of the thousands of people who will buy this course. But of course, you can't. You've only got so many hours in your life. So we did want to offer something very, very special. And in fact, in about 10 minutes time, we're going to draw the winners of that. So if you entered that competition, and a lot of people, well, it's not a competition, it was just a draw. But if you entered that, and everyone who showed an interest in this course did, you may well have been one of our winners. So I'll tell you what I'll do, Jeff, because we've got a very sneaky little private chat going on here. I will ask my team if you can post the 2 winners in the private chat. That means Jeff can announce them rather than me having to announce them. Yeah. So team, get on that. If not, I'll do it. But the team are watching, I'm sure. So someone post the 2 winners in our private little chat, and then in a few minutes we'll get Jeff to announce that. So it's exciting. DJ lessons with Jazzy Jeff. Let us pull some more comments on the screen then from people who are wanting to say hello to you, and of course I've got lots and lots of them scrolling by, so I'm trying to pick some interesting ones and ones that we can focus on. So I want to just say hello to our viewers and our followers over in the Philippines, and I know Technobeat TV is there. So Jeff, say hello to Technobeat TV there, who's over there in the Philippines.
Technobeat TV, giving a super shout out. I can't wait until I come back. I've always had a great time over there. I cannot wait to get back there.
And a big shout out to Joey Santos, of course, from the Digital DJ Tips production course, who is also a Filipino over there in Manila. Hello to you, Joey. This is from 83 El Camino. Jeff, I'm 51 and I always wanted to learn to DJ, and I bought a Rain 1 last year, and now the chance to learn from my favourite DJ. Jeff.
Listen, that's it. That's it. Age does not have anything to do with it. If you have a passion, and this is going outside of DJing, whatever your passion is, please don't think that your time has passed. I don't care if you're 81 years old and you want to learn to skateboard. Put some pads and some bubble wrap on and go do it. So anybody that is excited to learn to DJ, I don't care what your age is, it is never too late. It is never too late, and I salute you for that.
It's a big part of the audience for not only DJs, but for learning to DJ nowadays is people who are past their youth. People who are adults, they have careers, they've got jobs, they've got families, and DJing's always been in their blood. Your audience, Jeff, you live stream twice a week now, don't you? And your audience is every age. It's not just young people. And one of your big things is that music and DJing is bigger than the nightclub. It's bigger than the clubbing time of your life, right? So talk a little bit about how you reach a wider audience with what you get up to nowadays.
Well, I mean, I think, COVID has made all of us kind of shift, excuse me, the way that we do things. And, once we started live streaming, I started off more so just for my sanity, because the world was so different that I wanted to play music. I miss playing music for people. And I think what I quickly realized is I can go to a club and play for 1,000 people, or I can play for 75,000 people online, and that you're actually reaching more people in streaming than doing live dates. So, once we realized that, we really, kind of tuned in, because the funny thing is, we thought before the pandemic the only way that you were going to hear a great DJ would either be on a radio station or it's going to be in a club. And the radio station, unfortunately, don't really play good DJs anymore. And what if you're not into going to a club? What if you feel like, you know, you're past your prime in going to a club? What if you're just not into the club scene? I love the fact that you can have an amazing party experience in your home. Like, these are super exciting times for me. I've had some of the greatest events virtually. I just celebrated my birthday last weekend and pretty much did a 3-day music festival with some of the greatest DJs on the planet. And we played Friday night, we played Saturday afternoon, we played Sunday. We did a brunch on Sunday, um, and had hundreds of thousands of people, just tuning in the comforts of their home, because it doesn't require you to have to dance. There were people listening to us playing cards. There were people in their kitchen cooking. There were people cleaning out their garage. There's so many ways to get to hear, um, great DJs now, because you don't have to go to a club. There's nothing wrong with going to a club, but you're not confined to just going into a club.
I mean, never mind. There were people cooking. You were cooking. You had a cooking session as part of your birthday celebrations over the weekend, and your studio is such a creative place. And having spent a week with you there, we can see it. You get names dropping in and out, and I'm not going to start naming people who arrived at your studio. It's your studio, but you got people just popping in and making a bit of music, talking, playing with plugins on your computer, and it's a very creative, very naturally creative place where you live, and the world that you've kind of like built around yourself, even to the point where you're trying to convince all your musician and DJ friends to move out so they can live near you. So I love, it really comes across on your live streams, and the live streams are in your home. Everything that you see on your live streams is not, you're not going off somewhere. It's not a set that you've had built. Yeah. This is you. This is where you live. You're seeing the real Jeff. I think that comes across, and I think that's why you've done so well in this space, because it's genuine. And it's, someone asked a question. In fact, let me just try and put it on the screen. Someone asked a question, and the question was, you've answered it. You've answered the question just by what you just said. It was from Mike. Jeff, you're my hero, but my question is, do you ever worry about eventually losing your passion for music? Do you have any advice to keep the love of music fresh and to avoid getting bored of it? So give Mike some words of advice there, Jeff.
Well, when it's something you love, I don't think you ever get bored of it. You may get frustrated. Something might not be working right. But when it's something you love, I equate, a lot of what I do to a basketball player. Some days your shot is not falling. And that doesn't mean that you quit. You just come back the next day. There are days that I walk into the studio and I sit down and nothing comes out. And I just get up and I leave. It's not time. And I come back the next day and it might be 10 ideas just pouring out of my brain. So you have to take the good days with the bad days. And that goes with DJing, playing basketball, being a painter. Some days the paintbrush isn't flowing, and you just have to put up a blank easel and start painting again.
Do you, because music's at the heart of this, right? Music is the heart of it. You've got behind your, in fact, let's just cut back to a screen of the course, because what I'm talking about is there. Behind you there, and not only in your studio, but in all various places around your home, this phrase appears: music is not what I do, music is who I am. Is there a sense that you, DJ Jazzy Jeff, you collect music you love and then you worry about how you're going to DJ with it later. Because I think some people, as soon as they start DJing, they kind of like forget about everything other than the music they think they need to have in their collection to DJ with. And it might just be that they're playing a Friday night in a small town and there's a certain kind of music and they kind of forget everything else. Do you think that that is a trap that can kill your passion for music because you're doing, it becomes too much of a job? And is there, is there a good case to be made for collecting everything and worrying about the DJing later?
Well, first of all, hopefully you're a fan of music. Aside from DJing, like when I'm not DJing, I'm playing music in my house. I'm playing music when I'm cooking. I'm playing music when I'm cleaning. I play music in the shower. So it's one of those things that I'm not always playing the music that I DJ with. I have favorite albums. I have Spotify and Tidal and Apple Music. And, I'll just walk around and listen to music. And it's not necessarily the music that I DJ with. Now, I get a lot of ideas from the music that I love that I say, oh my God, I can play this for someone and people might enjoy this. But I am a music fan first. And I think that's the part that helps you not lose your passion for what you're doing. I understand that there are a lot of DJs in clubs that only allow them to play a certain type of music. That doesn't mean you can't play that music that you love on the way to the club or on your way from the club or getting in the shower to go to the club. That's only one situation. So I think if you love music, I would advise you to collect all your favorite music and then go through your favorite music and see what you think people might want to play.
I remember once, many, many years ago, I'd had a bad time with a girl. It happens when you're young. And I just went into my room. I lived in a house with lots of other people. And I just played the music I wanted to play to make myself feel better. And someone I lived with said, "That's the best DJ set I've heard you play in years." And it really stuck with me that for the first time in a while, maybe, I'd actually played what was in my heart and not what I thought other people wanted to hear. And I think there's a real lesson there. If you're a DJ, if you're working, if you're expected to do a certain kind of job, don't lose the reason you got into this in the first place. That passion, that fire, that flame is the thing that people see in you as a DJ. And Jeff, you're a great example of this because, of course, your skills allow you to mix what you want with what you want and to go where you want. And that's what this course teaches. So listen, people, if you're just joining us, DJ Jazzy Jeff is with me today. Privileged to have him with me. We're on the front page of the national paper here today because he's just launched his DJ course, or rather, do your pointy thing, Jeff. Do your pointy thing. In 25 minutes and 50 seconds.
25 minutes.
He will be launching his DJ course by ringing by popular approval, ringing his cowbell. So we will have a cowbell at the top of the hour. There he is in the paper here today. The national paper is actually the oldest paper. It says on the front in the English language. 1801. This was first published. So there you go. We've done it. We've made it. So Jeff is with me today to launch the course that he's made with us here at Digital DJ Tips. It's called How to DJ Right, and it's where Jeff teaches all the stuff that lets you be able to mix any music you love in a way which will please dance floors. So we're very excited about this, Jeff. We're 5 minutes late for announcing the winners. Now, Jeff, in the group chat, I'm going to make you do something on your toes here. In the group chat, you should see the two winners of the lesson one-to-one with you. Yes. Two lucky people have won a one-to-one DJ lesson with you, and we can now reveal. In fact, now seeing we're going to use the cowbell to launch the course, why don't we use another instrument to reveal these winners?
Hold on. All right, I need
what we're going to go for.
I don't want to. We're going to do the tambourine. So
okay.
So we have two winners. Winner number one from Charlotte, North Carolina, is Keisha Vereen. Give it
well
up
done,
for
Keisha
Vereen from Charlotte, North Carolina. And winner number two is James Taylor from
Oh, we got you there. I think it's pronounced Bicester.
Bicester, UK.
There
James
we go. The UK
Taylor
bit's easy.
Bicester, UK. These are
well done
winners.
to Keisha Vereen and James. I wouldn't have got Keisha right, so we're equal there. Bicester, I'm pretty sure it's Bicester. Keisha Vereen from Charlotte in North Carolina, and James Taylor from Bicester, UK. Well done. We will be informing you by email officially, but you are the winners of a one-on-one DJ lesson with this man here, DJ Jazzy Jeff. This is all part of our countdown. Part of our countdown to launch his How to DJ Right course, which is launching in 23 minutes time here on the Digital DJ Tips Thursday show. And obviously we're extremely excited about this. And let's go back to the chat. Now, it's interesting that we were talking about the age of DJs here, Jeff. Let me just drag a couple of things on screen. DJ Cassius. People at the age of 19 like me also admire you, Jeff, for inspiring, motivating, and being a nice person too. So
I appreciate that.
We got the youth, but also, check this one out. DJG mobile DJ service 69, heading for 70. Started DJing 3 years ago and love every minute of it.
I love it. DJG mobile DJ service. It does not matter how old you are. This is a classic example of someone who discovered it and absolutely loves it. And I tell people all of the time that music and DJ has kept me young. This is it's in your heart. Music is a beautiful thing. If you want to understand how important music is, turn on your favorite movie and push mute. It is no longer your favorite movie if you're not hearing the music. Music is everything.
Music is not what you do, it's who you are.
Who I am.
Jeffrey. DJ Flows on Twitch. Before this course, all I had was YouTube and changing the playback speed to 0.75 or 0.5 and watching and rewatching his sets. Now we get a peek behind the curtain and the method to the madness. We do, don't we, Jeff? It really is a peek behind. Oh, apparently it's pronounced Bister. So there you go. We're both wrong. The American and the British person both mispronounced Bister UK. So there we go. So James, it is you, James, Bister resident. There isn't another James Taylor in Bicester, UK. It's you. So yeah, DJ Flows is looking forward to getting a peek behind the curtains and not having to slow down videos to watch and rewatch your sets. I mean, you really do get everything you need in this course.
Yeah.
With all the camera angles and all the teaching aids and the stuff slowed down and the explanations, don't you, Jeff? It's not just the equivalent of watching someone you admire on YouTube and trying to figure it out.
I wanted to make a course that I didn't get when I was coming up. I would have absolutely loved to have a course like this that I could have slowed something down and kind of had a really detailed explanation of how something is done. I'm super excited about this, and especially, his message and what he was having to do on YouTube. You don't have to do that anymore.
So DJ Flows, the days of going on YouTube to find Jeff, and Jeff, you don't actually have that many videos on YouTube because all your live streams and so on are kept for your real fans and are kept behind the scenes a little bit. So it's not like people have got an awful lot of material they can find out there and choose from and learn from when it comes to you. So this really is something that's very very exciting to have done and to have made. Let's get some more comments from people who are excited about what's happening. If you do want to comment, by the way, people, we can see them all. Obviously, we can't get near to covering everything you're saying, but I will put as many on the screen as I can. Tony says, finally, I got myself on a live, and what a perfect moment with Jazzy Jeff. The number of people that watch the recordings of these, Jeff, compared to live is like, it must be the same with your live streams, right? You get multiples watching them on the recording compared to when you're actually live. If you are watching the recording, Jeff, finger please, that counter there is irrelevant because you can buy this course right now. But if you're with us live, you've still got to wait 19 minutes to get on DJ Jazzy Jeff's How to DJ Right. Danny's got a question. How many modules are there in the course and how deep do they go? So, Jeff, I can tell you the modules because you've only had a chance to have a quick peek at it. We divided the videos you made into 8 modules and there's about 100 lessons. I'll go over to you, Jeff, to talk about how deep we go.
we go, we go pretty deep, deeper than I thought. Just in explaining and understanding the basis of the course and the reasoning for doing certain things. It is explained very specific so that um, you kind of get a peek behind the curtain of you know what I do and how I do it. Like I said before, this was the first time that um, some of these techniques I ever explained to someone. That you know Steve and Phil made me dig deep and explaining why actually do you do something. Because sometimes things are second nature and you don't ever think about the reason why. And I think the most important part about this course is why is explained for you to know, the reasoning, for a technique or when you should do something. And, like I said, I wish that I had something like this, when I was coming up, and I'm only happy to pay it for it.
So pretty deep, Dano, is the answer to your question. We really do. We have pushed Jeff deeper than he's ever explained. I mean, we're going through the outtakes at the moment. It's a bit like I understand what it was like for Peter Jackson making the Get Back Beatles, the Beatles documentary, because I'm going through the team have done a great job. Steve's done a great job of getting the lessons perfect. But of course, we were together for a long time, so we've got an awful lot of coverage that isn't the lessons. And you really shared some solid gold in those in between times, Jeff. So at the moment, I'm going through all those personally. It's my kind of like my when I've got nothing else to do job. I'm going through another hour or two and I'm pulling out these little gems, and it's full of these gems, and they're all going to be added to the course. So the good thing about this course is, as with all our courses, you buy this course, you pay once for it, it's yours for life. And everything we add to it in the future, whether we upgrade it, whether Jeff makes new videos in next year or the year after, or indeed all this material that I'm sifting through personally, because I've got days and days and days of material. It took half a day just to upload and download it from the studio to my studio. That's going to be added as well. And some of this stuff really is solid gold. So if you're a fan of Jeff, you're getting stuff which you're going to absolutely love, even if you don't want to be able to DJ like him, because you get into, there's so much of this. Like I say, it's solid gold, and it's very funny as well. We've had a lot of. You're an animated guy, and you've got some, as you would imagine, some incredible stories. In fact, that does remind me, we're going to have to run some of these by you, Jeff, before we just drop them in. But we'll do that. Okay, so lots and lots of older DJs here saying I'm 53, I'm 47. Here's one, I'm 47. My kids are grown up. They know the story of me selling my gear when they were babies so that I could pay the rent. During 2020, my son encouraged me to get a DDJ 1000, and here I am. That's from the 312. How cool is that?
I love it. I love it. I love it. You are going to enjoy this. And don't ever give up. I understand sometimes life gets in the way, but we always need to kind of try to circle back to what our love and our passion is.
This is from Jamie. Says, have you noticed any more females becoming DJs? I'm DJ Honey Jam. Jeff, how have you seen that change in your time since the mid 80s?
Listen, I love it. I was a judge for the duration of the Red Bull 3 Style DJ competition, and every year the amount of female DJs joining in on the competition pretty much doubled. And I love that. Like, DJing is not a race thing, DJing isn't a gender thing. DJing is for people who absolutely love music, and I don't care if you love music. Let's go.
James is asking a really good question. James says, is there a beginner module for those just starting out? I'm not new to DJing, but I'm very new to using digital with the controllers and jog wheels. I'm going to just jump over here a second, Jeff, and grab something. If you join Digital DJ Tips, people, and you should be a member of Digital DJ Tips if you're not, because you get loads of stuff. The URL's there. If you join Digital DJ Tips, you get a copy of this. And this is kind of like the book I wish I had when I was a young DJ. In fact, when I was a young DJ, this was the one I had. It was called the DJ's Handbook from Scratch to Stardom, and this has got pictures of people shaving sheep in it and stuff. You know, this is how it was back in the day. And this book was my Bible, but there wasn't one for people nowadays. There is now. It's this, and you get this for free when you join Digital DJ Tips. So if you are that new that you really don't know how your controller works and how your software works, get your copy of the book. It's free, and that will get you ready for moving on to, for instance, taking Jeff's course. So Jeff doesn't teach you how to plug the gear in and how to load your software and stuff like that. He assumes that you've got that down, but if not, we're here to help. And you know, don't go and buy courses and stuff to learn the basics. Just grab a copy of our book and use the free resources we have on the site to get yourself up to speed. Let's pull some more live questions then from the audience. If you're on Twitch, if you're on YouTube, if you're on Facebook, just ask away. We are here to grab your questions and to put them on the screen, and as I say, lots and lots of people are doing that. This is just from DJ Jim Sounds. I've mixed and DJed for many years, but unfortunately on and off due to career choices. I now dedicate my life, or all my time rather, to my beloved craft. I need help scratching. Do I sign up? Jeff, talk about the scratch training in the course, because that was part of the fun of making this.
There's definitely a part of, you know, and I've always said it, that DJing is a meal, scratching is the spice. And we give you ideas of how to spice up your DJ set, you know, from baby scratches to transforms, you know, to flares to whatever. You know, we definitely give you a peek behind the curtain. We, you know, like I said, we start off with showing you the fundamentals of how to DJ, and we end off giving you some really cool scratch ideas that you can add your spice to it.
It's quite illuminating when you break it down and look at it, and people watch you and your routines, and of course you've done some iconic routines that the best DJs in the world. We've got a clip on our site of DJ AM, rest in peace AM, just bowing to you after performing. You know, you are very technical and you're very good, but it's incredible that it's actually only really 4 scratches that you use, and the rest of it's in the timing, and the rest of it's in the appropriateness of them, and that's where the genius is. And so in the course we break down those 4 scratches, and also we give you lessons taken from our scratch training, because we didn't have time with Jeff to spend a week just teaching, you know, the how to drill yourself on the main scratches. We give you extra training from our scratch courses. So if you're new to scratching but you really want to do it like Jeff does it, we teach you those 4 scratches, and then even if you can't do it yet the way he does it, you'll understand it. You'll know what he's doing. It will be like when you hear a foreign language and you're not really confident in speaking it, but you've had enough lessons to understand the words and it doesn't sound like nonsense to you anymore, right? We can get you to that stage just by watching, because everything's in the course, and then it's up to you to go practice it. So there's a really funny part in the outtakes, Jeff, where you always say, you know, DJing's the meal, scratching is the spice, but you do a baby scratch and you say there's a bit of salt, and then you do a kind of like fast baby scratch and you say there's some pepper right there, and then you go wild and you say and that's your hot sauce. So it's good. This is an interesting question from Jody, and I know you did something. You did a really cool mix for Defected in the House. But Jody says, did you ever make a house music mix? If so, put it on YouTube. Well, he's not going to put it on YouTube, but Jeff, you did that thing for Defected, didn't you? You've been booked to play house in the past. You know, you're not someone who's scared of playing house music.
Well, you know what people don't realize is the idea of being a DJ. When I came up, we played all kinds of music. We would show up with 5 crates of records, and one would be a hip hop crate, one would be a house crate, one would be a funk and soul crate, one would be breaks, and you covered everything. Like, there wasn't just a house DJ or hip hop DJ. A DJ played all kinds of music. And once it started to get to the point that people specifically wanted hip hop or specifically wanted house, is when those sets came in. But I've been playing house music since I started DJing. So, you will see in the course, Jeff uses everything. He literally uses, he goes across the board playing not only different styles, but different ages. I mean, we go back 40 years, 50 years in the music. You go back to some of the
the great 70s funk and soul, and then
Yeah.
bang up to date with some, proper banging up to date tunes with all the modern production and sub bass and compression and all the stuff that's new.
Yeah.
And it's all about. I mean, there's a really good set that we linked to on we covered DJ Jazzy Jeff's 12 things DJing has taught me on the site recently. I'm showing them on the screen now. So if people are interested in you, Jeff, and what your big lessons are, they're here. We've got stuff. You don't have to go and buy this course today if you want to just check Jeff out for free. We've got loads of good stuff here. But also we covered on the site what we consider to be 12 of your greatest moments, your amazing career moments. One of these is you DJing at Tomorrowland in Belgium, which is basically a big EDM festival, and. Yep. That is a tour de force. That is, if you want to see a DJ destroying a set in front of a crowd that really isn't expecting that DJ, this is the one to go and watch, people. It's on our site. It's the top story at the moment. Playing at Tomorrowland, Belgium in 2018. Jeff, your set there was very different to the kind of set that you'd produced for us, for instance, for this course.
Yes.
And that's part of it, isn't it? Part of it is knowing who you're playing to and adapting accordingly.
Yes. It's okay to have your own style, but I don't fit a round peg in a square hole, meaning I know who I'm playing for. There are different crowds and different sets that you do depending on where you're playing. And I think it's important to understand, take people on a journey. Sometimes the journey is going to be different depending on, where you're playing. I knew Tomorrowland was a big festival. So many of my friends, were there, from Black Coffee to DJ Chucky to Steve Aoki. And you basically want to take people on a journey that people were kind of like, oh my God, this was amazing because he gave me what I wanted, but he took me somewhere that I didn't expect. And to me, that is the sign of a great DJ set.
And you were, I watched that set beginning to end. You were in no way untrue to DJ Jazzy Jeff. It was DJ Jazzy Jeff. It was your music. It was your skills. It was you could tell it was you, but you also considered the audience. And there's a great skill there. So listen, this course, people, covers such a wide, broad range of music and styles, and more importantly, the thinking behind when you would play these. And you told a great story, Jeff, about, I think it was actually from this very set, certainly from a similar European gig. You had to go off and play somewhere, and you said you honestly felt at one point they'd only book you because Jazzy was in your name, because it was a jazz gig, and they're all sat on blankets on the floor having picnics, and you're like,
yes.
I couldn't imagine a more different gig from that one I just played. But you did it, didn't you? And you pulled it off and you got them on side.
You, like I said, know your audience and understand who your audience is. So I just made a quick pivot, and that goes back into the course of knowing your music. When you have your music organized, you can really make a pivot and a turn at the last minute and go someplace. If you realize it's not working, sometimes you start playing a set and you realize, okay, I thought it was this, but it's not, and I need to make a turn, pretty much really quickly. And that was one. I didn't expect this to be that kind of show, but it took 5 minutes for me to go through and readjust, and everybody had a good time.
Let's get back to the course, because guess what? Finger please, Jeff. It's literally 5 minutes away. Oh, you're off camera there with that finger. Yeah, there we go. There we go. This is from Tony in Italy, who says, can your course be followed on any controller? I can answer that very quickly. Yes, it can. This is not a gear course, people. This is not designed for you to take because you happen to own what Jeff uses. Jeff uses Serato and Rain controllers, and the reason I had to think about that was he's got decks there, but he used Rain controllers for this particular while we were there, and a very standard Pioneer battle style mixer. It's not a gear course. It's a course that's based around skills that you can do on any DJ gear, literally any DJ gear that's got a crossfader and 2 decks and an ability to change the speed of the stuff you're playing, right? It's really important that we've done it that way, right, Jeff? Because people have got all kinds of gear.
When you think about it, a lot of times, people buying, two turntables and a mixer today may not be feasible. I think it's amazing that there are some very affordable controllers that are extremely powerful, that does everything that you needed to do. So we wanted to make this course, not gear specific. Whether you use a controller, CDJs, reins, turntables, no matter what, these lessons apply to any kind of gear that you're using.
And it's funny because when we were there, Pioneer DJ were launching a couple of new controllers, so we thought we'll put two and two together here, and we'll get the controllers down, and we'll film something with you. And we've got a video on our YouTube channel of you using the really very modest entry level DDJ Rev 1 from Pioneer, which is like a $249 controller, and I can tell everyone watching this that when we put that in front of you, you were just as enthusiastic about using that and finding its new features as you were about anything we could have put in front of you. You're a real, you're not scared of new technology, and you can see, it's almost like you can see the excitement other people are going to have with this, so you tap into that excitement yourself when you see anything new. The DDJ SB3, I've got one here, it's just out of reach. A years old controller now, had a button on it where you had worked with the designers to help people understand what scratching was and to give them something that they could use. We obviously, the whole world dubbed it the DJ Jazzy Jeff scratch button instantly, but that's not what it was called. It was called, I can't remember what it was called. So yeah, you are very much someone who appreciates and understands that people don't all have two turntables and a classic mixer, and the course is designed that way. And you get us helping you as well, as in myself and Steve, the other tutor in the course, helping to describe how you would do this on different types of gear. We are getting, look at that, 2 minutes. If we were watching a sports game now, it would be now or never, wouldn't it? Come on, you've got to score now. You're going to have two more chances here, and that's going to be it. That's how close we are, people. I'm actually starting to get goosebumps here. So if you've just joined us...
Let me slide this cowbell a little closer.
Yeah. If you are just joining us, you've joined at the right minute, because I've got the GOAT himself, DJ Jazzy Jeff, with me. And the reason I've got him with me, it's front page news here, where Digital DJ Tips is based in Gibraltar. DJ Jazzy Jeff has made a DJ course. It's called DJ Jazzy Jeff's How to DJ Right. We are proud to have made it with this man here. And in 1 minute 30 seconds, it is going live. So what I want you to do, we're going to have no more questions now. We're going to have no more feedback. I just want loves, hearts, thumbs up, whatever you want to tap on, whatever platform you're on now, get it tapped, because we're building up to the big minute. We're building up to launching this course. Now, as soon as this cowbell rings, it's going to be our midnight moment. As soon as we've kind of got over that excitement, I will tell you exactly what you have to do to go and have your very first look at what is in this course, and to look at the video Jeff's made describing it, and indeed to buy it. It is going to be on sale in literally seconds from now. So Jeff, final thoughts about your course before we push the button on what is going to change the DJ tuition world forever.
I am so excited to be able to offer this to the world. My mission has always been to give back. The DJing has done so much for me. It has provided an amazing life. It has made tons and tons of people happy. And I just want other people to be able to share that. So this has been a dream come true. I've always wanted to do a course. Thank you to Digital DJ Tips for allowing me and helping me get through this. We are 10 seconds away from launching this course, and I could never be more excited.
Well, Jeff,
so we got
cowbell at the ready, please. Let's do it.
1.
Well done. And listen, a massive well done to the Digital DJ Tips team, and to Dan over there with you, Jeff, and to your team over there as well. There's dozens of people have helped to make this happen. It is not just the two faces you're seeing on the screen here now, everyone. The course is now live. You just head off to djtips.co/Jeff. Also, if you were at the Digital DJ Tips website, you would see the adverts and the links and so on for this there now. And you can You can go and read about it. Let's have a little look at what you're going to see.
Yes.
I'm just typing it. I'm typing it to my own browser now here, just to check it works. So there'll be words if it doesn't work. That was a typing error. Here we go. This is what you're going to see. You're going to see a page where Jeff explains in this very video that I'm clicking play on for a second anyway. You're going to see the video. You're going to see Jeff explaining what's in the course. You're going to see all the modules, everyone asking about what's in it. The modules are all explained here. You're going to see about the inspiration mix Jeff has made. We talk about who this course is for. And there's Jeff himself, bullet pointing all those things. And then there's, of course, a lot of people here are going to be new to Digital DJ Tips. So there's some stuff about the school. All the questions that we've been asked ahead of time are all answered here as well. And also some extra stuff about what you get as a student of Digital DJ Tips. It's all there. The page is now live. When you're ready to buy, you click the buy button. It will take you to a simple page which will tell you you're going to get a $100 saving on the course just for a very limited time as we launch this. So listen, grab it now because this saving is not something we're going to repeat. So do go and take a look at that whenever you can. Now you haven't got minutes, you've got longer than that. It will be on this offer for a few days at least. So don't think you've got to rush off immediately. But we're live, Jeff. Relax. Take a deep breath.
We are live. Woo!
You and I are relaxed now. You and I are relaxed. But I'll tell you who isn't. The whole team behind the scenes now who are checking everything's working fine, who are checking people who are in there. For those that don't know, Digital DJ Tips has got a team of people who's committed to your success with our courses, and they're going to be very busy. They're going to be busy on Intercom, which is our live chat. They're going to be busy in the support area as well with people joining. So listen, everyone, thank you for being with us for this hour. Jeff, thank you for being with us for this hour.
Thank you. I am so excited. I am so excited for this, and I appreciate.
We are live.
We are live, y'all.
DJ Jazzy Jeff's How to DJ Right is officially live. The very top of the Digital DJ Tips website for the first time ever now bears Jazzy Jeff's face rather than our logo, and will do for the length of this launch. There you go. It's the #1 post now on the website, and we're very proud to have this live.
I want to give a very special shout out to the Digital DJ Tips crew. You and Steve have been absolutely amazing. Shout out to the producer Dan behind the boards who helped film all of this stuff and put it together. Shout out to my wife Lynette. Happy birthday, Christian Crosby. We are live. This is amazing. I am having a great day. I'm going to get some breakfast, and I'm going to take my own DJ course because I think it's probably something in there that I can learn also.
I love it. And while we're on the thanking, I want to do exactly the same thing. Thank you, of course, to Steve, who co-produced this here at Digital DJ Tips. Also to Faye and to Juanmi and to Ben and to Lauren and to everyone here. I can't name everyone. I always forget someone if I try to. So listen, everyone who's been involved, even the web team today, fixing our logo at the top of the site. So hello to Steve and everyone over there in the web team. You've done a great job of it all. We're live. Hopefully everything's working. If it isn't, it's because so many people are trying to get in at once, so do bear with us, people. We're good. Jeff, I will leave you to go off and get your breakfast. Thank you very, very much for your time here today. Thank you everyone who's joined us. It's very exciting. From him and from me, get good, people. Get out there, make the moments, and jump on Jeff's brand new course live right now. And Jeff, before we say goodbye, I just want to let everyone know that a week on... When is it? Is it a week on Tuesday or is it next Tuesday? I don't know. Anyway, we'll let everyone know. You're back. Yep. You're back to talk.
I'm back.
DJing. You're back to help people make their the right decision as to whether this is the right course for them and so on. I think it's next week sometime. But like the best radio DJs, when they say, I don't know what's on tomorrow on this channel. I'm too busy with my show. I don't know. I don't know, Jeff. But our team will tell us, and we'll get back on this, and we'll do it again very soon to help people out who are jumping on the course. So I think it's next week sometime. If not, it's early the week after. So we've got one more of these to come, people. But for now...
I'm excited.
For now, goodbye.